What's up, guys? This is going to be more of a trial run than anything, so we're kind of learning as we go. Um, See how everything goes on my end and figuring out how to do all this stuff. And I got to deal with my
Kind
cats.
of fun learning how to play with all the software, isn't it?
that's what I'm kind of figuring out as we go right now. So I just got everything set up, and as I once I downloaded the software and so on and so forth, and then I got over there and I got on Keeping It Criminals stream, and I kind of got caught up, and I was like, oh crap, I'm not paying attention. But how's everybody doing tonight? Let's see.
Let me give you
Go ahead.
let me give you the best piece of advice I can give you. Be very careful who you let up, because I had this problem the other night when I was playing around with the software. You never know who's coming or why.
Sure. I can understand that, but you know me. I don't really care. Let them right because I'm used to people bashing me. I do it for a living. Like I said in my video, I said, I'm that pig tyrant, right? It's the way it goes. I'm used to that lifestyle. So what's been going on with you today? I noticed that you were talking. Did you figure out any more details about the possible auction, by the way?
No, I was unable to find out, but I haven't talked to Sovereign Soul yet. I haven't had the opportunity. I had planned to. I see him there in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Let's see who we do have in the chat. I'm just now checking this out anyway. So I'm guessing
You're right, Sovereign. The angel of death. That's what I was trying to warn Captain Chad about. To be careful, he'll end up with the angel of death on his show.
Oh gosh, tell me more. Who's the
We
angel of
we
death?
he come in on my live. Apparently they come through StreamYard somehow. I'm not sure how. They definitely weren't subscribers to my channel or anything. Just a couple of different people popped up. It was an interesting evening.
Yeah, well, I can imagine. Some of the comments that I get on some of my stuff is amazing. Like I'm going, wow, man, like you guys really need a hobby.
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's like seriously, you're worried about me? Like you sit there and want to battle with me. So
Well, apparently this is some people's hobby. They have nothing better to do besides sit behind a keyboard, I suppose.
no kidding. Eating beaver chili, please. Let me guess. I guess that's going to be a hot topic anyway. So we're still talking about that. Just for the record, I want to clarify, okay? Since we've got a few on here, I'll go ahead and say this. The promoter has agreed to let Chili sign this via whatever. I don't know how he's wanting to do this, but that's the rumor, is that he is going to let him sign it via, I guess, maybe an email. I really don't know, but anyway, that's kind of what I've been told. And as that happens, he's still going to be there in September, he says. So let's just see. I want everybody put a 1 in the chat if you think right now that Chili's not going to show up in September no matter what anyway. Because I'm curious to really see what really everybody's opinion is on that. Because to be honest with you, like I really feel like he's almost kind of backed in a corner, isn't he? Like, I mean, that's kind of all he has left. Yeah, there's like nobody really saying that. Yeah, pretty much everybody that's here is saying he's not going to show.
Well, the last I heard the other night, he was supposed to be on his way back to California. So I imagine that'll be way too far to travel just to whip some dirt pig that he could handle like a minute steak anyway, if you ask him.
That's true. I mean, I guess he's all that is man, according to him. Yeah, you know what I've noticed is like in my experience, if you go around and you walk around telling everybody how tough you are, generally speaking, that means you probably aren't. I don't know if that's like a insecurity thing or something. I don't know, but it sure seems to be.
Well, typically, he who screams alpha the loudest is usually closer to omega than he is alpha.
Of course. And he says he's anxious for the fight. I've seen that in the chat. Abby, did he say he's anxious for the fight? He said in on his stream or something. Yes, by all means, Art, have him here. Let's bring him on.
Art's out in California. He's waiting on him to come to him.
Oh, well then, are you going to let him stay with you, Art? I'm just curious. Is he gonna...
I tell you what, Art might actually climb in a cage with him if he got the chance.
There's a lot of people that would. Like the guy just, that's my thing is like, I'm 43 years old. This feels good to me for the fact that I'm actually getting in shape again like I was when I was younger. And it feels good to kind of come back from the COVID thing. And I'll share a little bit more in depth about that on this stream tonight, since I'm not kind of impeding on somebody else's. But it felt good for me to kind of to step up and take that. I'm not gonna say his biggest problem, because let's face it, he's got a lot of problems. But the thing that I've noticed the most about Chili is he always kind of sets things up to where he thinks someone can't take him up on it. Does that make sense? Like, it's almost like he feels like, oh, well, I'm going to back him up in a corner where they can't.
He does everything he can to leave himself an out.
Accept. And I don't think, yeah, man, I mean, I fought when I was a kid, now granted it wasn't MMA, but, boxing's not a whole lot different. But, it was something that I'm not completely new to this, or, it's a little bit of experience. Well, shit, I don't think you're a fighter. I think you got a big mouth. He's silly. So Archangel's same size, but have a BJJ background where he has none. Put him.
Oh, by the way, Leducator, if you reach over to the chat there and click,
you know what? I'm not real good with the triangle. That's not really my thing. I'm not really built for the triangle. In case you haven't noticed, I'm not going to be really. Frankie, what's up, man? But no, I'm kind of more like that. I'm going to be doing a lot of upper body type stuff, different chokes, stuff like that's more my thing. So,
hey, Leducator,
yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If you decide to highlight a particular chat message, if you reach over there with your cursor and click on it, it'll put it across the bottom of the screen so everybody sees it. It'll bring it up and highlight it.
Okay, I can do that. Okay. See, I'm learning, guys. Come on, give me a break. I'm just a dumb policeman. But yes, I'm cutting in case, and to just kind of give everybody, because I'm like the world's worst at like having information that I want to share. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to say this, man. I'm going to say this in my video. And then I completely forget. It's like, dang
You're gonna have to start writing yourself some notes.
I know. Trying to see what we got here, because my thing's like it's dragging or something. Honest. Hey, I'm game. People dropping on here. Hey, I'm nervous more the fact that I'm literally like, you guys don't understand how like okay. I shoot guns and lift heavy shit. That's what I do. I lift heavy weight. Well, I used to before I destroyed my arm. But that's my thing. I never have really been like the tech guy. That's what I got these young patrolmen for. So I'm kind of like learning as I go here, But yeah, hey, I'll take an arm bar or rear naked choke, Archangel. There's no doubt. I'll put him out with a choke. Hickson Gracie, man, he made a life out of beating people with that rear naked choke. Of course, I don't think I'm quite Hickson, but
if you ask my opinion, I don't want you to quit when he taps. I want to hear him say "uncle."
Terry, I lost you on the audio there. I think you kind of faded out.
Oh, sorry about that. I was saying I don't really want to see you knock him out, and if he taps, I don't want to see you let go. I want to hear him say "uncle."
I can't do that. I don't think Kentucky Commissioner would be too happy about that. Blue Bear, what's up, man? Make him say Daddy Chad, Archangel. You know what? I think if I was to be in that position where I do that, they might disqualify me for that. So I better not do that. I better just accept when he taps. When we done this originally, when I done a stream on Kick's channel a long time ago, and I actually took a poll, and there was people that actually voted and said, no, we want to see you knock him out. So I actually swear I started working more stand up and working to get my overhand right back, because I'm thinking I'm gonna knock him out. I mean, there's no problem about it. But you know what? It is what it is. If I can choke him out, I'll choke him out. Oh, there's somebody talking some smack. Hey, let's see what we got here.
You'll have all kinds of smack here and there.
Here's the shitbag officer donating money to St. Jude's for the fight, but associates with Josh the rapist. Absolutely just curious. Well, there's keeping it criminal, Miss Mandy showing up. What's up, guys?
Hello, Kick and Miss Mandy. How you doing?
This right here is gonna this. Exactly. Sounds like Chili.
Hey, Capt and Chad, if you want to assign some moderators to your chat, the only way I found to do it was to open a second window to YouTube. You'll have to pause the video, but when their name comes up, there'll be 3 dots to the right. If you click on that, it'll open up a set of options, and one of those is add as moderator.
Okay. I can't do that on my phone. I'll have to do it from here.
Thank you, Janet Pack. I really appreciate your opinion. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm a joke.
It's really, really funny how Janet Pack always compliments American Pride, Ohio, and he's right there beside me in the car, and then has bad stuff to say to me. I think that's the dumbest thing I ever heard of. But hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Nah, you got to have them, right? But that's a good sign. At least that if I can make people hate me, that'll be okay too. I shouldn't say that. I don't want anybody to hate me.
Well, you don't always have a choice. I can tell you that.
Yes, if Chili beats me, he can handcuff me, and I'll tell you what, I'll wear his Return Terry shirt out. I'm going to go out on a limb and say if Chili shows up, it'll be a win for his cronies. Because I'm on level with you. I don't think the guy's going to show up. That's just my opinion.
Well, geez, most of them can't even hear him contradict himself 10 minutes after he says one thing. He says the complete opposite.
You're not trying to wait a minute now, Terry. Are you trying to say that Chili doesn't tell the truth?
I'm trying to say that he'll say one thing and then 10 minutes later he'll say the exact opposite. That's what I'm saying. I mean, anybody that actually listens can hear it. Just listen to him. He's never been in jail, yet he was in jail here. You know, he's all this stuff. You know, you just it should take it for what it means to you, but you know.
Well, let me just say this real fast. I want to speak to the Chili cronies out there that are kind of let me say, if you're drinking the Kool-Aid and you really do believe that this little man is a fighter, you really need to wake up. I've been around fighters my whole life. Whether you like me or not, I don't really care. But I've been around fighters my whole life. I started out in a boxing gym when I was 6 years old. I've been there and done it. I'm not a super fighter by any means. But I can say this. I've been around him. And I can promise you this, he ain't one. Everybody that he's ever claimed that he has fight training with, we've literally got messages from Ken Shamrock in the Lions Den gym that he claims that he trained at, and they have no idea who he is. And Ken Shamrock said, not only do I not know him, but I would never support somebody who acts like he does. I mean, the guy's he's lying. He
may have walked past that gym a time or two.
Yeah, like when they say, "Hey, I passed a bar." Of course, I stopped and had a drink too, but you know how that goes, right? All right. Anthony,
hello,
what's
Anthony?
up?
Good to see you.
Anthony, you coming up? Does Pam and Ironton tell the truth? No, they don't. The entire city of Ironton is just pathological liars. You didn't know that, Chili?
Generally, when they're talking about Ironton, I think they're talking about me specifically. I'm assuming. Maybe I'm just too arrogant, but I'm assuming they're talking about me.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know. Yes, he stars. He definitely has little man syndrome. He's a lot of bark. He ain't got no bite. He's full of it. But let me tell you. Let me tell you what I've kind of been doing. Let me tell you. Let me tell you how active I've tried to be. Because I mean, obviously, I know what's up. I know, from the position that I was in before, when I was trying to go through after the COVID stuff, I put on a lot of bad weight. And so I've been working so much on cardio. I'm trying my best to get in at least 2 or 3 actual sessions of training a day when I can. On days that I don't have to work, I usually go at least 2 or 3 times, which means I blatantly, as best I can, I will do run, bike, or work fight training. So do heavy bag work or mitts or spar or train jiu-jitsu. So it's hard on an old guy. It's hard on me, but it's been rewarding. I've absolutely made a lot of I guess progress. I've total right now. I think I've lost like right at 20 pounds total. And I've exchanged a lot because I put on a lot of my muscle back. So what do I do for a living? I have to say, I'm going to be honest with you. I have learned that the more that I put into this, I have to actually stay busy no matter what it is. And then when I get to work, oh my gosh, like Terry, when I sit down in that car, I get so stiff because I've put myself through so much crap. But I'm learning to still make it. So
sitting down in the car ain't so bad. It's getting back out of it that sucks.
It's the recovery too. Like I've noticed, like everything that I can do, everything I do, I do. I'm not gonna say I do as well. I don't, but I'm okay as far as being able to get through stuff. Okay, what I'm not good at is the next day. Oh my gosh, like I'm dragging when I go to get back up the next day, and I'm like stiff and sore, and it's like daggone, man. I mean, that's not what it felt like when I was 20. But I guess I have to accept that one day, right?
Janet Pack said I was a backstabber. I'd just like to say that Chili was the first one to stab a back. That's what happened with that. He was the first one to tell a bunch of lies, and he got caught up in it. That's what happened.
All right, listen, I'm going to bring. I got a couple more I'm gonna bring up. Okay, I'm going to bring Silly DeFatso.
Hello, Chad.
Oh my God! I've got to know. I got to know who I'm talking to. I got Uncle Artie up, but Silly DeFatso.
Chad Goo, you're a beta, Chad Goo.
Uh-oh. I knew it was him.
You're a beta, Chad Goo.
Dang it! He's gonna be on to me now. And I have to say, Josh, I love the fact that you have him fixing his glasses in your little profile pic.
You're just upset because I'm an alpha and Terry Ironton auditor. Ironton auditor. I'm going to be suing you, brother. The federal district township magistrate, Wendy's court.
Oh, ooh, that's a big one. Wendy's
court. Wendy's court. Can I get a Frosty with that lawsuit?
I don't think you can.
I'm going to sue it from you.
Oh, hey. Hey there, Mr. Flaws. The IRS is coming to see you soon.
Uncle Artie, what's up, man?
Hey, nothing much. I didn't realize you brought me up. Yeah, hey, I'm still trying to let Chili know that I snitched to the IRS on him, and they're very interested in his financial records.
Awesome.
Hasn't filed any tax returns in a while, and he's getting all these donations. It's taxable.
Hey, you
Okay,
guys
don't-
you guys talk amongst yourself. I got to take care of something real fast.
Don't worry about my taxes. I'm down to $75. Kate took down the store, so no, we don't stop. And well, unless we scam,
don't stop.
then we stop.
Well, I got a crush on your brother Lyle. I love Lyle.
Yeah, well, he's being hunted like an endangered great white. But when I go to sue Judge Waldo, and then I fight Chad Goo, then I'm coming for you, Uncle Artie, and Ironton Auditor.
You missed me. I'm in Dallas, baby. I was looking for you like crazy. You missed me at the Dallas Federal Courthouse. You slipped in the back like you do your lovers, and you withdrew before I could get to you, baby. You didn't even come around and give me a reach around.
I figure you had your chance the last time we were face to face in Ironton. What happened then?
Well, good question. I'm an alpha male, and that's why I have cauliflowered ears, because men usually grab me by the ears because they don't want me to stop blowing, because I'm an alpha. I'm an alpha, Terry. I'm an alpha, Terry.
So, how'd you lose your teeth? Too many dicks in the mouth? I mean, slip and fall, something?
No, I had to make space for the vein. This one guy was dating Artie. He had a big vein, so I had to remove one of the teeth to fit the vein, Artie.
Hold on. I've got a lawyer here that wants to talk to you, buddy.
We don't stop.
Come talk to this moron. What the hell you saying here? Hold on. This is Terry Snurdly, your legal lawyer for Uncle Artie's Barred Girl of Stupidity. Hey, there are deleted flaws. We're going to habeas corpus in a federal lawsuit.
Well, right now we're selling the trifold right now for $5. Just send it to me, $5 trifold. That way I can get some cream for the stretch marks on my lips. It's just code $5 trifold.
Well, what about the Klingons and the stretch marks on your anus, you jackass?
I'm an alpha. I'm an alpha.
You're a betazoid bitch compared to me, you son of a bitch. Think you'd have a shitty day.
Oh, you don't know what it's like to be black. You don't know what it's like to be black. I know what it's like to be black. I also know what it's like to be a statist and a sadist and a lesbian. So I'm the black lesbian statist, and I'm fighting Chad Goo.
Dang it. Everybody's fighting me.
Chad's going to be putting you into a pretzel hold and turning you into Bubba's bitch, you jackass.
Hey, you know what? Did you guys catch bits and pieces earlier when he done the thing?
That is a hilarious video. Anybody that hasn't seen it needs to go watch that.
Please, guys, if you are not subscribed to Bits and Pieces, you've got to. Like Derek's such a good dude.
Oh my God, that guy is funny as hell.
Oh, it's great. I mean, like seriously, it's so worth it to go over and check it out. So now he said he's going to fight Wild Castro. Okay, Jane, the fight is supposed to be with us, by the way. I don't know if you're talking to me or if you're talking about what's going on over here with Silly DeFatso or not, but our fight is in September. We think it's either September 10th or the 17th. We're not sure yet.
No, you missed that, Chad. So what he did was he thought he would accept the fight and then bow out at the same time and make it your fault. So I was restreaming him on super chili speed, which is always a good time. And he said, oh yeah, I'm going to fight Chad Goo. But, he says I have to be in Ironton to sign. He says I have to be in Kentucky to sign the papers. I don't listen to pigs. I do what I want on my time. So what he was saying was, I'll fight him, but I'm not going to show up to sign the contract because that's what the cop told me to do. So that way, when the contract signing is missed, he can be like, oh, it's not my fault. I told him I was going to do what a cop said.
Oh, that's okay. He changed the narrative on it to where he's said he'd be there to sign it originally. Just name the day, time and place. If you look at the if you remember the auto auction shit.
Well, I think you guys are late. There was a summer blockbuster that is actually coming out soon, and it's pretty big. It's already straight past DVD, and it's a real retelling, like American Greed meets Forensic Files, and it's a harrowing recounting of when Chili. Did you guys know that Chili had got fired from a job a couple of years back?
Yes.
Yeah, so he worked at the sperm bank, and he got fired for drinking on the job and stealing the night.
Okay,
So,
just for the record, I'll be honest with you. I thought the biggest miracle was the fact that you said Chili got fired from a job because he had one. I thought that was the thing that really shocked me the most.
Well, there weren't any real black Power Rangers there that were, giving him a Mighty Morphin Power Hand job. So,
I thought that was fired.
He's actually the Mighty Morphin Ener Ranger, was actually his name. But, moving past that, it's very important that everyone understands that there is a documentary coming out about approximately 28 minutes long. A promotion trailer will be released pretty soon on a channel to remain unnamed. But I see him in the chat, and it is called Thirst for Justice. And it is a recounting tale of how Chile went on a nationwide manhunt, and brave law enforcement officers were involved in making sure that they found him. They cornered him for drinking on the job at the abortion clinic and stealing the night deposits. They did cover how he went to the emergency room afterwards, and he had to have his stomach pumped because he overdosed on semen. And it just recounts the whole trial and everything that happened after. So, keep a lookout. It's dropping soon.
Oh,
totally made me forget my joke now.
Oh man,
why'd you do that there, silly decastrated?
Silly DeFatso. Check it. Oh no, I have to leave.
Oh no, that's the man that got the cease and desist order on his door today.
This is one of those betas. This is just one of those betas, and I'm suing him and his doll. I'm suing his doll.
Don't sue his doll.
Federal district court.
Don't sue the doll.
There's one thing I gotta say. I'm going to make a prediction, and I'm being dead serious. Chili's going to LA to pick his dog up. I've got a feeling that if he shows up in Ironton with it, he's using it as a prop to get it seized, thrown in the dog pound, and whether it's put up for adoption or they have to put it down, he's going to use that as a prop to make more money off it. See what the pigs did to my dog?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Chili's in the chat.
He is that fucking pathetic to do that.
You got Chili in the chat, Chad. He's in the chat right now.
Chad, I'm bringing Chili Dal Castro down to turn into you. Because I have custody of him now.
He's a wanted doll. He's a wanted doll.
He is. He is. But
he's always sticking any voodoo pins in that thing.
I like pigs just as much as any other guy, probably more. Because I'm an equal opportunity guy. Black, white, red, green. I'm gonna stay away from you, you psycho chick. I'm a constitutional law attorney, motherfucker. So I will sue your ass. Listen, I filed 3 civil rights lawsuits this year.
Where did you get that?
My wife.
Where'd you get the talking thing? I mean, what?
You can order them. Well, they have them like at Hobby Lobby, and you can also order them and stuff. My wife, she's like, she does a lot of crochet stuff, and so she went to get. They only had the 20-second ones at Hobby Lobby, so she turned around and ordered 30-second ones. But then the idiots, whoever she ordered it from, still sent her only 20-second boxes. So I think there were 3 in a pack. And you can record whatever you want onto them. And
that would drive my dogs nuts.
Hey, Chad Goo, say hi to Chili. He's in your chat along with one of his moderators. Chili, come on up and play with us. We miss you.
Chili, guess what? Being dead serious, it's Uncle Artie. I snitched to the IRS about you in Farmers Branch. They're looking for your ass. You're getting audited, bitch. You haven't filed any taxes. That money, those donations and shit, that's taxable. Guess what? They don't like you, dude. You got to worry about the IRS agents with the badge more than anything. Chad Goop being a pig? Oh, no. IRS agents, baby. They're the real pigs. You're getting introduced to them courtesy of Uncle Artie. You think I'm joking, dude? You think I'm talking shit? Dude, you have no fucking idea. I worked with ICE in the same building as Farmers Branch where the IRS is. I got in good with their IT guys and got in good with some of the officers that work out of that building. Trust me, they're interested in your ass.
Stay away from me, lady. Stay away from me.
The IRS is the biggest domestic terrorist organization in existence.
I agree.
And I sicked him.
And the ATF.
And they're after Chili. thanks to Uncle Artie. He thinks I'm fucking joking, dude. He has no idea what I've unleashed on his ass.
What's Chili in the chat under? Because I don't see delete laws.
He's under Snake.
Oh, that's what I called that. I called
Yeah.
that the snake thing. Yeah, poor little fellow.
Call me
Almost
out
seems
on my
fitting.
bluff. Call it a bluff if you want, Chili. Come on.
Chili,
Stay away from me, lady.
Dude,
Chili, if
you
you're
have
gonna
no
if you're gonna
idea
come
how much
on,
I
you just
fucked
come on as your
world
delete
up.
balls account.
And you're going to use your
I don't
dog
see
most
him no
likely
more.
to get thrown into a pound so you can go, oh, look what they did to my dog. Give me money.
I don't see him no more.
Oh,
Dude, you mark my words, he's going to do that shit.
Uncle Artie run him off.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's a pussy.
Stay away from me, you psycho chick. Stay away from me, lady.
You gotta
I'm
watch
a
it.
psycho. Would you like to see my psycho snake there, silly laws?
Hey,
Well, let me tell you something, man. I can tell you, I've had like charges against me before and had to go to court and that kind of thing. And you get that thing, that impending bit of dread, and you don't want to have to go to court and everything else like that. And in some cases, man, always in the back of your head, you always have that idea: what would happen if I didn't go? What would happen if I run? But you always, good sense tells you, hey, just go in there, deal with it, face it, do what you got to do, right? And this motherfucker actually did it, man. I mean, he did in several times. I'm like, I can't even imagine how, you could go without. I mean, as much as I disagree with a lot of the chicken shit stuff people are charged with, it's still like, how do you go with always having to look over your shoulder at any time? You might be having a good time. The cop rolls up, and ends up coming out that you got a warrant, and everything's just blown, boom, right there. I don't know. Fucking stupid.
Hey, I just wanted to let you know that every week we'll be coming out with new Chiliisms and T-shirts to go with them. So this week's Chiliism that will be on a T-shirt and will be available near you is "GHB is good for you." Jose Maria de Castro, 2022.
There you go. There you go.
And on it will be a picture of his guilty finding and diversion plea that he took, besides the fact that he's never been charged with the crime, but has been. But yeah, Chili.
Let me clarify this, okay? First of all, Snake, aka Chili, stand up when you talk to me, Shorty. But let me clarify this for you, okay? As far as anybody's past history or whatever, what does that have to do with us linking up to make money for a good charitable organization? I'm just curious. Despite what anybody's past history is, that's the whole point.
To be fair, that isn't even like part of my past. I've never been arrested, nor have I been charged, let alone convicted with any such crime that he's saying. My criminal record is public. So that's number one. But the interesting thing is, someone who lies to people but literally has a guilty plea and diversion for selling the date rape drug is accusing someone else of sexual offenses, which is interesting because he said it, then he found out he was wrong and he retracted it, but now he's trying to say it under somebody else's name. It's okay, Chili. Just come up and play with the big boys. I know you're the beta, but
hold on a second. He's an unlicensed pharmacologist. Pharmacist. Yeah, unlicensed pharmacist. Come on now. He wasn't doing anything illegal. He was just unlicensed.
Well, the government really doesn't like any cowboys. Anybody to intrude on their business really stands a chance of getting into a lot of trouble. That being said, you got to also look at the differences between breaking the law and breaking legislation, illegal versus lawful. I don't think it's anybody's goddamn business, to tell you the truth. But unfortunately, we have legislation, which is not law. It's legislation that makes it illegal. So it can be lawful, but still be illegal. You understand what I'm saying? Men in a palace wrote down on a piece of paper at one time that it was okay for you to own another human being. That is not lawful, but it was legal.
Well, I'll tell you, a prime example was back in the whole COVID thing, and they were having those mandates that come down. And, the governor in the state of Ohio put on this mask mandate. He says, that basically you can't go around without a mask. Well, I instructed my men, you don't enforce that. That is not a law. It
can't be enforced. The mandate, by the definition of Black's Law Dictionary, I have one right behind me. And when that came out, I said, let's see, what is a mandate? And it's basically, it's under Old English and Roman law. And a mandate is a very strong request, and it is only a contract. It is only effective if the person being requested to do this action agrees with it. If they say you have to wear this mask and you say kiss my ass, there's nothing they can do about that. It has to be agreed upon, and if you don't agree, then the mandate is useless.
Right. Well, here's my thing, and I'll tell you this. There's actually I can understand, and if you want to wear a mask, absolutely wear a mask. If you feel like you don't want to be around people without wearing a mask, then don't be around people without wearing a mask. But what I'm saying is, from my perspective, who am I to tell you what your well-being is? I don't appreciate that from my perspective, from my profession, quite frankly. And I'm not ever going to be in a position to where, and granted, I'm all about, like I said, if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask, but I'm not going to tell you that you have to be able to go into the gas station and pick up a whatever, a candy bar. I mean,
well, here's the thing. They can make it all they want, but the thing is, with businesses that they want to do it, it's just like no shirt, no shoes, no service. They wanted to do it, and somebody is going to wear one, call the cops, trespass arrest because they're not doing the no shirt, no shoes thing. It's not, like you're saying, it's not a law or whatever, but the businesses do have the right to tell you to wear one.
Well, you're right. I believe that the government has absolutely no authority really to tell a business who they can and cannot serve. Absolutely. I don't care what their reason is. And a good example of that is right in New York City, one of the most liberal places in the world. There are many restaurants where you have to have a jacket and tie, okay? And you're not allowed to go in there and eat unless you have a jacket and tie. Well, some people don't have a jacket and tie. Is that discriminatory? Yes, absolutely it is, and it's absolutely the proprietor's right to cut out any segment of the market that he wishes. It's at his own peril, because even if you wanted to put a sign in your thing, although I don't agree with it, that said only white people at my restaurant, okay, it's probably not going to be very popular, and it's going to be a detrimental decision to yourself, so it's not to your advantage to do. So the market there again takes care of itself. As soon as you get the government in legislating shit that is not any of their business, that's where you start running into problems. And then you get the lawyers involved. And see, I think that Shakespeare was right when he said, first kill all the lawyers. So,
Chad, I have something I'd like to do for your chat. Anyone, since Chili's in here, anyone that was going to send the promotion code $5 trifold to Chili, if instead you send the subject line $5 trifold to my email address, the AFA crew, instead of sending your money to Chili, every single time that you send that I will post $5 on your behalf to St. Jude's with the link that Chad has. So every time someone sends me an email that says $5 trifold, instead of that money going to Chili for him to grift more people and buy gas, I'll donate that to St. Jude.
Well, I want you guys to look at the little Chili troll here that says he's going to rock my world. For the record, are we talking about the same thing? I know you're in tight with Chili, but I don't want him to rock my world. Okay, I don't. That's not what we're there for. That's a different kind of show. Like, I'm going to whip his ass. I mean, I don't know if you all know that or not, what the difference is, but no, I don't want him to rock my world September 9th, considering that the fight's not on September 9th. I don't know where that came from, but it would be either the 10th or the 17th. So, but either way, that's when the fight is, and him rocking my world isn't. Nah.
That's not going to happen. Look, man, come on. This guy is not going to go. He's not going to show.
He can't. You don't even have enough freaking nuts to show up on his own account. You literally show up in a troll account, dude. I mean, seriously.
I know that, but have you ever heard of anybody?
Well, in his defense, he might not have his makeup on.
Have you ever heard of anybody in MMA or a wrestler or a boxer or anything like that do a live stream, where they're remote and signing a contract or a weigh-in?
Oh, you mean
I mean,
you mean
I'm
you
going
don't
on
like the
about
fact
how
that
he's not going to show up at the fucking thing to sign the contract. Nobody in the history of professional sports have I found anywhere that has done that shit. It's only him.
Hey,
Only him.
Chad,
Pussy now.
Chad, now here's something you might not have thought of. I know you've been training and you've got a lot of experience behind you, but I have a feeling that if he get in that ring, he might pull out the trifold.
oh no.
And yeah,
Oh,
are
no.
It's indestructible. That's true. You could use it as a
Dude.
shield.
dude,
Absolutely, absolutely.
my neighbor's a deputy, and I just mentioned the trifold, and he was like, hands in the air. I'm not shitting.
Well, I mean, just quit.
He did. He says, I'm done. I'm out. It's over.
Oh yeah. I mean, if he shows up with some trifolds wrapped around his fist, I can't be hit with that much freaking knowledge and justice. Nobody
my
can
God.
stand that level of expertise.
And
Other
the,
than-
the spelling errors, those are just psych you out.
Oh, we got a $5 trifold email. That's going to be $5. Chad, can you message me the link to St. Jude's that you had been posting? Every time
sure.
someone sends me an email to the DAFA crew at gmail.com and you put in the subject matter $5 trifold, instead of Chili getting that money to grift, I'm going to live post donations to St. Jude. So that way Chili can then complain that his store is even lower because kids with cancer are actually being helped, unlike the ones he tried to back out on.
Okay. Hey, I made a few people mods. If any of the mods are still with us, can you guys put that link down there too in the
Hey, can you make
chat?
me a mod?
I can. You guys talk amongst yourself because I got to turn the volume down so it doesn't ring out on us.
Is that what that was?
Hey, Uncle Artie, how you doing? Josh, good to see you too.
I'm doing
By
pretty
the
good.
way,
Terry, how are you? I'm not going to sue you until another 5 minutes when I do my alpha check.
I appreciate it. I like that extra 5 minutes. It gives me a chance maybe to order your trifold, and you'll take it easy on me.
Hey, you got time for some sprints?
Man, I'm jealous. Everybody's getting sued but me. What's up with that? Show the hatred.
I better be eating my Wheaties. I might need that.
Well, don't eat those. Come to find out, remember that guy in the front of the box?
Yes.
He ended up chopping his wiener off and shit, man. So I wouldn't be eating Wheaties.
Eaton, he's too afraid to come up and chat. Trust me. Even if it just be chat and Chili, he wouldn't do it.
Let me see. I'm gonna go over here. I ain't looking at this. There we go. Okay.
He would not come up.
There's Tina Slay. What's up, girl?
Hi, girl. What you doing?
Hey, Playboy. Where does he get this stupid shit? He's like trying to find a catchphrase. It's like,
What's up, Playgirl?
He did this until
What's up, Playgirl?
he did this shit until everybody started making fun of him. He don't do that no more.
What's up, dunce cap?
I think he changed his glasses too, didn't he?
He did. Why does he wear fucking women's style glasses? I don't get that.
You have to understand that's a sales technique. You have to understand what he's doing right there. By putting those glasses on and using the moniker of a constitutional law scholar, it's a title he made up. It's a title he made up. I could put famous historian on my shirt, and the glasses, of course, because educated people wear glasses. This is like a stereotype thing that's in the subconscious. It's just a sales technique, man. That's all he's doing. And he don't those I guarantee you those glasses don't even have a prescription to them. They're probably just
well, apparently a lot less people are buying these days, according to everybody saying his store's down, or at least I guess that's what he said.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, this grift is almost over. I mean, he's had several in the past. The super necessary human thing, so he could
I listen.
Diabetes.
It's not super necessary human. It's now, man.
I got a request right now. Okay, we got 58 people right now in the chat. If you would like for Snake to ask any other question, please put a 1 in the chat right now. Anything else, you don't have to repeat it over and over and over. Anything else, put a 1 in the chat if you want to see just any other question.
How about this? If Snake can email me a picture of my registry or a copy of my record that shows any such charge or conviction, I will shut down my channel. How about that? Because unlike Chili, who literally took a diversion plea for selling the date rape drug. I've never been arrested, charged, or convicted for any such crime. So stop being such a beta. Come on up here with the big boys. Don't be sending me videos at 3 o'clock in the morning of you laughing hysterically after a crystal meth binge, blowing a bunch of dicks down. Just come up with the big boys. Get used to getting knocked out by Chad. Come up here and have it done now. Won't hurt us.
Shit, man. Come on, Snake. Snake, all you got to do, just click the link. Just reach down there and click. Just click the link.
Yeah, hey, Chili, if you come up
take
here,
your
I'll
finger.
dox
Take your
myself.
finger and just hit that. I'm going to hold you hostage here and not say anything until you do.
Chili, get your ass up here on the panel. I'll dox myself.
There he is.
Chili,
There he is.
Chili.
Oh, hold on. It's time for. We gotta have these.
Those transparency glasses?
Those are transparency
Everything
glasses.
goes away when the transparency glasses come out.
Oh, and the law can be interpreted however I want.
It only goes the way I want it to.
Exactly.
It's my way.
The irony is that when and I'm gonna love with you guys. When I very first come in contact with Chili, I was under the impression that he was somewhat of an anarchist. Until I got to research and I got to digging it up a little bit, and more I listened to him and stuff. He's completely the opposite. He talks about delete laws, but the guy literally wants to create a governed state. I mean, are you serious?
Yep. He wants to not only take the money away from the police, he wants to take the money away from the police, reallocate it to a group of people that do the same thing as the police, but are somehow not the police.
Persons of justice. Get it right.
Yes. Persons of justice. Well, transparency. I kind of like trannies. That's kind of short for transparency officer. Trannies.
And you guys got to explain to me the persons of justice. I'm not familiar. I want to hear this.
Oh, you don't know about Chili's?
I don't know about persons of justice.
Oh, go. Josh, tell him.
Well, it's very, very simple, Chad Goo. You're a dirty pig. You're a Capt.
Okay, yeah.
So what's going to happen is I am going to have a 360-degree camera that I'm going to mount on your head that will capture all angles, which is stupid anyways, because you could simply just take the helmet off. But anyways, persons of justice will show up and they will tell you to stop because you're being filmed. So, Chad, when you encounter a guy that's been on a crazy meth binge and he has a gun and he's shooting up the neighborhood, you'll be able to walk up to him and say, "Sir, you're being recorded. I'm a person of justice. Stop." And then the crazed lunatic that's shooting up the neighborhood will say, "Yeah, that sounds good. Why don't we just, we should stop."
Stop, or I'll yell, "Stop" again.
I want to address this right
here.
Hey,
don't forget the poppers. Don't forget the poppers.
I want to address this right here because this is something that's going to be something that I'm going to take upon.
Devo hat.
The person who confesses to be a Christian, absolutely I do. And if you have any further questions about my faith, I'd be more than happy to answer you. I still don't understand what any of this has to do with the fact of knocking down walls in order to be able to do positive things for a good charity.
I see absolutely nothing with it. Chad, I take you as a man, and from what I can see from you, I have absolutely no problem. Your chosen profession, I might not necessarily agree with your chosen profession. I'm not going to ridicule you. I'm not going to call you names and shit. Like I said,
we are bringing in a legend right now, guys.
Hello, Kick.
We have been joined by Kick.
Oh, fuck. I'm not a legend.
Sure you are, Kick. Sure you are.
Get to go around about Hezekiah's book. I'm not done with you yet.
You reminded me. I got to read the other half of that book.
Now that I'm a constitutional scholar with my glasses on, I'm going to sue you.
All right, yeah, come on.
Where's my cease and desist orders around here?
Get after it.
Well,
I mean, there's a line.
Chili, it's a sissy and desist letter.
Listen, you know what? You got to hand it to Chili for at least something, right? If not for him being such a scumbag, so clearly and definitely that people from both sides of the aisle can agree to come together because he's such an epic piece of shit. There would be no like this type of unity wouldn't happen. And I speak Chad, I speak to you on a fairly regular basis on the telephone, and we have regular conversations. And he is a good cop, right? Like he's out there doing the right thing. It just makes no sense to try and ridicule him, and to go after your religion just speaks on how stupid his subscribers are, because his subs are going to come in here and ridicule you for religion. That's your First Amendment right. So they want to use their First Amendment right to free speech to try and ridicule you on your First Amendment right to freedom of religion. These people are as stupid as Chili.
Well, didn't you just share something, Josh? Didn't you just share something like yesterday? I actually shared it back on my page. It said that one of his mods literally said, "This is not a First Amendment." I mean, it's literally, this is not a First Amendment platform on his stream.
Yes, this is not a 1A or a freedom of speech platform /channel. Yes,
wow. About 60% or better, and a lot of times toward the end of the stream, it's more. Of everyone in his chat are all mods, and then a few sucker uppers, and you see them on there. And then if you watch another one of those things, you see that those sucker uppers get to be mods, and you see them, they're congratulating each other on successfully being able to squash what they say are trolls.
Well, he's a tyrant
that calls bullshit. That's anybody that calls bullshit. See, and to them, it's like playing whack-a-mole because it's just like overwhelming.
I love when he asks people questions, but before he asks them, he'll time them out. So if there was someone that didn't even critique him, they just asked him like a legitimate question because they didn't understand. So what he did was he timed them out and said, "How many people have you helped? What have you done? What is your purpose?" And he'll do this thing. "I can't hear you. I can't hear you." And then like, obviously you can't hear him. You just time them out. You ask questions to the fucking 4 mods that you have in your room. They're the only people in his channel are mods. He's really
by the way, Fouch, do you want to come up? I just saw your mouth running message there. That's Fouch with IPD works with me. See how he talks like this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You should have sent you a box.
And he works for me.
By the way, I've got something to admit. Chili getting shot the other weekend. That was me. That was me, motherfucker. You want to go like this? I get the real goddamn thing. And if that ain't good enough,
for the record,
I'm ready for you.
I'm gonna agree with Kick on this one. I actually, I laughed and I had a little poke at it too. But the reality is, I can't endorse that type of behavior, and I'm not going to promote that type of behavior because it's not right to do him that way in public. However, that was my official disclaimer. It was funny as hell that he looked around and thought he got shot. Just for the record.
Well, I wanted to address a couple of quick things. First, Tina, be more than happy to talk with you. If you could get in touch with Miss Mandy 777, she'll go ahead and help schedule a time because I'm awful with time management. The other thing, and Josh touched on this, nobody in the history that I've seen, I've been an outside observer for a while before I came in and started my channel up like a year and a half ago. But since when has somebody like Josh been able to sit down with somebody like me and work on a project together?
Absolutely.
Right.
Chili is the only person who could bring us together for a common denominator. That doesn't mean that I like you, Josh.
I love those glasses.
That doesn't mean you're my buddy. But
snap into a Slim Jim.
But we can disagree with each other, and I'm okay with that. Like this isn't everybody just sucking up to each other. We all legitimately don't want this guy.
Yeah, you don't realize how much I hate Josh. I mean, Josh, you have no idea how bad I want to rip into your ass. But because of Chili, I haven't.
That sounds sexy. Thanks.
I was going to say, is that kind of like the same thing that Chili's little crony just threatened me with?
Woo!
I just need to know when I'm getting my Keeping It Criminal caramel jerky that is 60-day aged, so I can send you a Kick Rocks t-shirt.
There's some mean fucking people.
So
in this.
there is going to be a straight to DVD serious documentary, as I described earlier. I just heard about this recently. I have no idea who's doing it or what's going on, but I do know that in this documentary, it's such a high budget production. Of course, it would need advertisers, and one of the advertisers is AFA's Keeping It Criminal Caramel 60-day aged jerky, with beef jerky that's been dry aged under AFA's breast assist. So
Yes.
that will be on the video, and then packages will be coming out to you.
Will it be separated between left and right breastises, or is it all just kind of like mixed together?
I don't answer questions. I
Okay.
have Fifth Amendment right.
Does it come with sprinkles?
Oh,
Well, there's the
sprinkles.
Oh, no. So when you send it to chili, that's when the sprinkles come on, but it's normally GHB. So we try and keep it organic.
Did you ever when Chili was upset after Kate left, did you tell him it's okay, Chili, you can cry now, and like press his face into your bosom?
See, I could have been like a service human, you know what I mean? Like an emotional support human. And I didn't think of it at the time. But from now on, I will have a vest that says service breast on the back of it. Should anyone need a good cry, I am here. I am here for you. We don't stop.
We don't stop smothering you
Chili
in
would
Josh's
started
breasts.
suckling on them mammary glands of yours. Would he be you them stop?
Hey, just for the record, Chili, since you're in the chat, why don't you read that right there from what Fouch said? Remember that time you talk tough when you're on camera, and then you literally like kiss his ass when the camera goes off, and you actually said that you wanted to take an MMA fight, but then when Fouch actually accepted it, you said, "Well, I don't want to get hit in the face."
Well, now maybe in his defense, he just needed a Snickers. Maybe he's not him when he's hungry.
So I will fight Fouch. Okay, listen here, Fouch. I'm talking to you, Fouch. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk up to you. I'm gonna flex real quick. I'm gonna look you right in the eyes, and then I am gonna get knocked the fuck out. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it?
Get after you get knocked out to file your federal lawsuit against Chad, you know.
Oh, Smitty, you're probably right. By the way, he's not coming back from California. He knows there's an ass whooping waiting for him in Kentucky. He just talks shit.
He don't stop running.
Has anybody ever been out to Los Angeles? Any of y'all ever been to Los Angeles?
I have not. I have not been that far west.
Okay. Los Angeles is pretty bad, man. I mean, it's crazy. It's a crazy fucking city. I lived in Eastern California for a little while. Like, we didn't even really consider ourselves California. But anyway, I've been there a couple of times, and it's a really weird city. Now, where he claims to be from, West Hollywood, which is, I'm just going to say, the most flamboyant area of LA that you can find. And if you can imagine a majority of the population that have narcissistic, self-unaware personalities just like him, and that's what they do, is they just feed off of each other. That's where he.
Come on, he's from South Central, dog.
Yeah. You've been to South. You'd last about 2 minutes in South Central. I've been by. You don't want to go there.
I have a new product for sale as well, if I may, Chad. I know this is your stream, but since Kick brought up the first product I have, which was the Keeping It Criminal Caramel beef jerky, I do have another product if I was able to try and pitch it.
Oh, yes, sure, absolutely. Let's hear this. And
Oh,
by the way,
thanks.
Archangel, I don't know what happened. Who timed out Archangel?
This is the Bobby Law's head cover. Okay, this is available. It's made of indestructible paper, and despite the sweat and anything else that's going on, you can put this over your alpha's head when you're railing him from behind. So again, guys, this is the Bobby Law's head cover, and it is available.
Well, why not put that on your significant other's wiener and give him a hand job that way? Maybe give him a little paper bag burn.
Well, it's kind of like the popcorn theory. Chad Goo. Have you ever heard of the popcorn theory, Chad Goo?
Probably, but I don't know. So you better clarify.
Well, thanks for asking. What you do is you go ahead and get a bag of popcorn. They don't have the tubs anymore because you know. But now you have the bag. So what Chili will do is he will go to a movie theater in West Hollywood and he will cut a hole in the bottom of the bag. He will insert his penis into the bag, and then he will walk around asking random men if they would like some popcorn until one random stranger gets to the bottom of the bag and gets a little piece of chili.
Oh,
with a little extra protein in it
it's a little
too.
piece of
Yeah,
chili.
yeah. That's not butter.
I mean, you gotta
Extra
like
coffee.
eat most
All
of
right,
the
so-
popcorn.
So
to
so
get
the
to
reason that I'm having a good time listening, but I'm gonna offer the chat legitimate questions. So don't ask stupid shit, or I'm probably gonna ignore it. But if you guys have any questions for myself or anybody on the panel, it's legit. Feel
Hey,
free
Chad,
to
you
put
got
them in
somebody backstage?
the chat. Is there?
No, I didn't know if there was.
I don't see anybody.
I don't see it.
Oh,
No,
look,
'cause
it's
you-
Archie for Truth. Hey,
Yeah,
Arch.
unless you got a subscription, you can only have 6 people up. If there were somebody back there, I'd drop down.
Hey, don't just let anyone up, by the way.
No.
Yeah.
What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the settings button that you can see on StreamYards and just simply click authentication. So when someone comes up, it's at least one way to make sure that it's the actual channel. But if you're going to let someone up that you don't know, I would like blow up one of our faces so you don't have any mishaps.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, people like
I have to
porn
approve them before
bomb.
they come up.
Hey, Arch
Yeah,
for
I
Truth.
had a thing happen to me one night with that shit, man. These people are weird. They just come on and start just showing butt stuff. They're crazy.
Government bought stuff for chili.
Hey,
Uh,
Bits, do you want to come up?
I can
just-
drop too.
I
just
got to
wanted
drop
say-
anyways, too.
Hey, Kick, I gotta say, hey man, thanks for getting Chad the laptop. I never would have thought of something like that.
Hey, no
kidding,
problem,
man.
man.
But
I'm
hey, Chad,
glad.
what I actually do for a living is I do computer support and all that. So if you have any trouble with it or whatever, let me know.
I'm absolutely blown away, and
I can hook you up with some software too. So
Kick has truly become a good friend of mine, and I'm very blessed to have met people.
yeah,
out
he's a
there.
real good guy.
Absolutely.
Before you
Absolutely.
go,
Me
Kick,
too.
before
He's my
you go,
good
Kick,
friend.
I just want to say you're pretty freaking awesome, man. Just so you know.
Oh, thank you.
Kick is my really good
Angry.
friend. We're best friends. He sends me chocolates in the mail. Me and Kick are best friends. Everyone heard it.
That's right. That's right. Me and AFA are
Last time he
absolute best
sent me
friends. Or is that
chocolates, I
chili?
was on the toilet for a week. He said something about Lax X or something like that. X likes get it. Haha.
Ha ha.
Oh, you're so funny, Uncle Artie.
4 out of 5 people suffer from diarrhea. Artie, you're the one who enjoys it.
By the way, Kick, that message right there is my missus, and she sent that for you to see.
Oh, Destiny, thank you so much. Look, I didn't do any of that for any of this, right? Ultimately, I knew that you had a need, and my community is what they're the ones that help me determine what to do. And if it wasn't for the support that I had, it wouldn't have happened. So it's not me, it's my community. And I share that with all of you who've supported me, because you bought this laptop, not me.
I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed to have guys like you in my life. And like I said, I made a lot of friends through all this, and it's amazing. It's awesome. So I definitely appreciate you.
Once this whole fight stuff is finished, I want you to stick around and be a part of. We need you here. You know?
We're going to. We don't stop, Kick. Okay, we don't stop.
That's right.
I'm fixing my glasses right now. You just can't see.
That's
Unless
fine.
you
I'm
have a
fixing
wall,
mine
then you
too.
stop.
So before I go, Arch for Truth. Look, I know you're saying that there's a lot of chili hate in here, and you're probably right if you're reading a lot of the chat. I want you to know that I don't hate chili. I don't. I pity him. He is unfortunately going in a bad direction, and your association to him is not going to end well, unfortunately. And I can only hope that when he disappears and kicks you to the curb like he's done so many others, that you can pick up the pieces and keep moving forward. I don't agree with you, and I don't agree with Chili, but I can only hope that you start to open your eyes a little bit about who he really is.
Yeah.
Because the facts are the facts.
You
That's
know,
the best thing I can say.
Kick, something that I always do is I look at the eyes, okay? And sometimes the camera can be a little deceiving, but you can really see it in his eyes. He has soulless eyes. They're full of deceit. I ran into that one the first time I met Alex Jones, and I had listened to him for a little bit. I met him at a Bilderberg thing, like I think 2014, something like that. But anyway, when I met him, it was like there was just an air of deceit about him. He couldn't hold a gaze. He couldn't hold his eyes to mine as I was talking to him. And I'm always a little wary of that. That's somebody that's usually deceitful, but you can see the window of the soul is in the eyes, and Chili's eyes are dead. They're dead. They're soulless. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I'll
There's
tell you
definitely
this.
something vacant there.
I'll tell you, I gotta share this, and you guys may give me grief over it, but I'm gonna level with you about something. The day that I watched that, and then I just watch clips because I normally don't patronize his channel. Okay, I just don't watch it. But the day that that he was talking about after the incident up in Massachusetts, and he was talking about how he had real friends, I'm not gonna lie. That was a tough. I actually seen real hurt in that guy's eyes, and it bothered me for a while. Like I genuinely was like, man, this guy. It's almost like I was almost tempted to reach out to him and be like, look, dude, I don't hate you, and if you need to talk, I'll talk to you. I don't hate you. I don't like what you do, but I can separate what you do from the human being that you are, because if you just need somebody to talk to tell you, say, look, man, stop doing this, man. You know what's crazy is Chili is if he's so capable. He can, with his potential, the way he can actually talk to people, and he's very charismatic, and he could actually do great things. Like I really believe that. I think he could actually be a leader in a lot of ways and stuff, but he's so off the chains about stuff, man. I mean, it's like
he's a good salesman. He's a good salesman. He uses sales techniques, man. I watch him. I was a salesman, okay? And I recognize so many of the sales techniques that he uses. The constant affirmations by the people he's talking to. In other words, you ask them innocuous questions. When you're trying to sell something, you just ask them innocuous questions that get them in the habit of saying yes. Like a beautiful day out, isn't it? Yes. That kind of shit. They're all a little rudimentary. I wonder if he didn't have some kind of training as a timeshare salesman or some shit like that, because he uses them all. I pick him out what he's doing, and I'm always to my wife going, "Oh, look at there, yeah, see what he's doing." Yeah,
He
got
missed
a
his
good
calling to be
personality. He's good looking. He's charismatic. He's got a decent build on him, upper body and all that. That's just natural for people to tend to gravitate towards that.
Yeah.
And he's got a raft of goods that sound pretty good to a certain segment of the population, so he's going to attract them. My thing is that where I do hate the guy, but it's because, well, not because of that, but the reason why I hate him is that he's going to get somebody like Chad hurt or killed, and he's giving people wrong advice and all that, and these people are going to go out and get more charges, more time in jail. They're going to be more frustrated. Nothing positive is going to come out of it.
Well, he usually leaves the people that he quote unquote helps in worse shape than they were if he had just left them the fuck alone.
Right.
The biggest problem with that is, like you said, he's got the charisma, but it's fake. I can tell. A lot of people can't. He's got that charisma. Like you say, he's got the physical appearance, all that shit that goes along with it. But it's the same as like seeing a sports car. Oh wow, look at that. Oh, neat. It's got the chrome paint and it's got this, that, and the other. And you lift up the hood and it's got a squirrel that runs around in a cage. The fucking sports car might look good, but it's not going to run very well. And that's what you've got going on there. He's biting off way more than he can chew. And he went to an area and made a lot of stereotypical assumptions about the people that live there and thought he could run his slick game real easy. Mm-hmm. And it didn't work out like that.
Well, and Arch brings a point here, Chili can be passionate. You know, a lot of us are passionate about the things that we believe, and I see that in some of the things he says. The problem is when his passion would be properly applied, he could actually be a successful individual. I think he missed his calling as a car salesman or an auctioneer or somebody in the chat said a lobbyist. I mean,
Or the ShamWow guy.
He could be the next ShamWow guy. I mean, he
loves to poke his face up there at the camera. Get it now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And the little finger guns thing. I mean, we'd all be doing that at home. He's on a commercial selling us some crap we probably don't need, but you know what? He'd make them a hell of a lot of money, and it would be a legit business. And I think that's where there's a lot of loss, is that his guidance has come from flawed people with flawed education. And I don't think that his driver is to do things legitimately.
Right.
I cannot see that factually in anything he does.
I recognize patterns, and I've looked back through his history at the things that he's done. Okay. He wants to feel relevant, important, and that's part of it. And also, like you said, he's got the sales ability, like you said. But it's always some kind of a thing that requires money that gets shifted around from this place to that place to the other. And investors that don't seem to be very upset that their large sums of money were quote unquote wasted on failed businesses. I mean, we're talking about large sums of money. And in my humble opinion, it sounds an awful damn lot like money laundering to me.
Not to break your stride.
Like one little gear in part of the figure.
I'm gonna read this real fast from Archangel for Truth. He says, "It's not his motivation. I challenge you to personally get to know him. But the problem is, buddy, and I'm just being real with you, the only time that I've ever had the opportunity to get to know him, he comes up and cusses us and tells us what piece of shits we are."
And you know what? The fact that I'm not even a law enforcement officer, but just purely on the fact that I disagree with his approach, like he has some ideas that could spark legitimate change. But the problem is his practical application is shitty, and he has none. So if you disagree with him in any way, shape, or form, you're cut off. We are essentially suffering what he says we do to everybody else, or what he says that the cops do to everybody else. He's shutting down our free speech, our disagreement, and legitimate discussion. And because of that, he's not somebody I would be willing to know, not to mention the history that he has. And I get it. People with a criminal history can change, but do you know how many people he's taken for tens of thousands of dollars and never got anything from it? I wouldn't want somebody unethical like that to be in my house, because you know what? The minute I turn my back, he's running off with the television.
You become what you fight. You become what you fight. Like you said, and if you got some legitimate ideas and some change, you're not going to implement that by standing up to patrol officers and shit out there and just calling them pieces of shit and everything. Now, look, I don't have a problem with if you want to film the police and you're not standing in their way and shit. Have at it, man. That's fine. However, if you're up there calling them names and shit and instigating stuff, and that's what he does, he's just doing it because that gets him likes, that gets him hits. People want to see that. People are angry right now. They want to see authority yelled at. They love it. Okay. You're not going to affect any change that way. What you need to do is you have to go above. The patrolman can't change the street sign. The cop, the ordinary everyday cop, I'm sure, Chad, you can't just go out and put up a fucking speed limit sign somewhere, can you?
I don't have any power to do that.
No, right? This all has to go. So this tells me that if I'm yelling at you about the service, it's like you get bad service in a fast food restaurant, right? I don't recommend going to them, but you get bad service. And so what you do is in another one, you bitch at the clerk at the counter about the bad service you get every time you go to that chain of restaurant. That's not going to do you any good. You have to go to the manager. You have to go to the head guy. You have to go above that. And you're not going to get it just yelling at the guy that's just working.
And
that's just stupid.
That yelling that you're bringing up is very important. And I think, Arch, you may not have seen this. I did a live stream before Chad went live, and I had an open, honest, and neutral discussion with Southside Slacker. And I had an open, honest, neutral discussion with many people on my channel on several occasions. Chili does not have the capacity to listen. He has to talk over everyone. Mm-hmm. Now, have I done that before? Yeah. Have I gotten passionate? Oh, yeah. Have I told people some things that I probably shouldn't? Yep. But you know what? I don't do that for everybody. I do that for people who can't see what is wrong inside and make an effort to be better. So
it's all broadcast and no reception. It's like if the mic's keyed up, you're not getting anything, you know? And I've said that exact same thing to my wife. I'm like, this guy's like when you're talking on the CB radio and there's some jackass that keeps keying up over your signal. You know, it's like, oh my God, man, would you stop? But he does that on purpose. He knows he's doing that because he knows that any points you're going to lay out are going to refute what he's saying, and he just wants to steer the conversation so that later, see, he's all about prove this and prove that. He's not about the heart. He's about you have to prove this or you have to prove that or you have to have a record of it and all this other fucking bullshit. And then he can turn around and go, oh, well, no, see, here's the conversation. And he did just that in his recent, I think it was his third last, I'm not going to talk about this video, where he was going over that, and that's exactly what it was. He played a conversation where he talked over somebody like Terry. He just talked over Terry and then said, see how Terry is. And I'm like,
I tried to get to know him. I tried everything I could to get to know him, but when I started to question him about his past, he called me a damn traitor. Just know that he really didn't want me to get to know him. He wanted me to know what he showed on camera, and that was it. He didn't want me to know anything else. When I started to question him, I became a traitor.
Well, he did that to me when I was up on Team Skeptics panel. I was trying to talk to him about Terry versus Ohio and legitimate ties that it should have to his arguments, and he could not focus on the discussion. He couldn't keep to the points. It was all about pushing the narrative. And Arch, I know what you're saying, but you know what? I can't take responsibility for what everybody's saying and the names they're calling him. I would be open to having a discussion with him if he was capable. He's not. And I already know right now that he doesn't like me very much because, yeah, I contacted his hosting provider and his domain registrar to let them know he's doing illegal shit on his website that breaks the terms of service. And no, his servers are not on Amazon. They're on RootPal. Okay. They're not hosted on Amazon. He wants to sound like he's got the biggest and best, but he's got pennies in his pocket. And the only reason he went to California today is because he talked Yunez into giving him money so he could do something illegal, which he did today. Yesterday, illegal service to 2 locations in Texas with absolutely no signatures and no documentation to prove that they were served. So his paperwork means nothing. And with that, I'm going to step down because I really need to go to bed early for once. So y'all have a great night.
Kick, I appreciate you, brother.
Well, hey, thanks for getting him the laptop. And the other thing too is when you said that you don't hate him and all that, dude, you show how much more of a man you are than 90% of us around here. However you want to take that, whatever.
I appreciate it.
Myself and go to bed.
I appreciate you, brother, and I'll shout at you.
I appreciate that. Just real quick, Artie, it's not about how much of a man I am or anything like that.
No, you just proved the definition of is what I'm saying. That you're a gentleman. Okay, there we go.
Thank you. I guess the best point that I can say about that is this: I'm not gonna diminutize, if that's the proper application of the word. His stance as a man. Could he kick my ass? Probably. I got a dad bod. I don't work out. I'm in IT. So yeah, you could probably kick my ass, but you know what? It doesn't change anything. It doesn't mean anything. it doesn't prove that you're right and I'm wrong. All it does is show that you've got less of an incentive to be considered as a decent human being in my eyes. So,
Yep.
I agree.
with that, I'm out. Peace out, folks.
Later, dude.
Later,
well.
Kick.
Later, bro.
Oh, and be good to each other. Bye.
Absolutely. That's what
You're
we're here
certainly
for.
still going to sue you.
Good.
Hey, you know, that leads me on to something too, is that, you know, he said he doesn't hate the guy, and I relate to that, because, you know, hate is, that only hurts the person that harbors it. You got to really look at that. And it'll affect you physically. It really will. You look at people that are always angry and always hate, and they're always ill. They always got the sniffles. They start looking bad. We call it resting bitch face. Yeah.
I want to address this real fast. There's been people asking about the warrant.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
The warrant is in Ohio. It is a misdemeanor warrant.
Yeah.
The pickup radius on the warrant will not allow for that warrant to be picked up in Kentucky. To clarify this once again, the warrant is in Ohio. It is not in Kentucky. It is a misdemeanor. There is no pickup radius for Kentucky agencies. Even if I were to call and beg and jump up and down and say, "Hey, Ashland, please pick up Chili," they would say, "We can't." I don't know how else I can clarify this. The warrant has no standing in Kentucky, period. And the fight is in Kentucky.
Well, he has no excuse not to, other than he's not going to let a filthy pig tell him when to do it. That's what he said on his video.
The mileage, the miles on the warrant are 100 miles, but that is, or I think that's what it is. I don't remember exactly, but it's in state only. The way that they do those warrants are, if the pickup radius is determined usually by the court, but the court specifically for a misdemeanor only goes up so far. That warrant will not be good in Ashland, Kentucky. Nobody, I don't know why that's so hard for everybody to understand. He does not have a warrant in Kentucky. He will not be arrested on Ironton warrant in Kentucky. He can show up and get his ass whipped. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that pretty much clarifies that. But you know, like you're saying, I don't hate him, but you know what I would like to do with him? And I sincerely mean it. I would love the opportunity to take him on a spirit journey into the surrounding woods near where I live at, and really bring him out of that self-unaware state that he seems to be in. I've never seen anybody that has such an overwhelming material ego about them in my life, but that can be fixed. All it takes is the right experience, and I would love to do that. But no, I don't hate him. I hope his mind gets better. He's crazy or possessed. One of the two.
Everybody has the opportunity to be better today than they were tomorrow. Everybody. But it's a desire. It's a personal desire. You have to want to be.
Well, it all depends on, are your thoughts yours, or are they all thoughts that have been given to you? That's what you really have to examine. A lot of times somebody is so immersed in thoughts that were given to them that aren't theirs at all, that they kind of short circuit. And it's definitely, there's a spiritual problem with him. There's definitely a spiritual problem with him, because it's almost like he has no remorse other than for what happens to him. It's they call it sociopathic behavior, but he doesn't care. You know, where are these people that did hang on his hope he was going to come to Ironton and he was going to do all this other shit, and then he runs away from a little misdemeanor? All because, you know, all these grandiose promises he makes, and then all of a sudden when it comes down to something on him, he's all, "Oh well, no, I'm not going to do that. Never mind, I'm out of here." He don't care. He's just out about his own skin. And somebody like that, they need to be really shown that there is no real such thing as yourself. It's us. You are me and I am you. We're just reflections of one another.
We're all interconnected one way or the other. My thing that makes me dislike him so passionately, hate him, whatever you want to call it, is he does or doesn't realize that his bad advice and his scams and all that affect people negatively, and it can be deadly or physically dangerous for some people.
Financially.
financially too. How many people, have given their last dollar, to a televangelist? Chili's no different than Jim Baker or, oh God, who's that one guy?
Copeland.
Thank you, Kenneth Copeland.
The demon, that man. Whoa. Did you ever see that one where that reporter asked him about his quote?
At the hangar. Yeah, I did a video covering that before.
Wow, you can see it now. You see what I'm talking about? The eyes, his eyes. It's almost like
that's
wow.
a soulless man.
Hey guys, I'm stepping away just a second. Okay, you guys take over for a second.
Yeah, man, that's some shit there. Yeah, that people don't want to. I think that the people always think that it's just the devil, but there's these minor demons, and people think that oh, nothing like that exists. Oh, bullshit. Man, I saw this thing. It was really crazy. There was 2 different girls in different areas that were under taken. Have you ever heard of that Flocka? Have you ever heard of that? It was this designer drug or some shit like that. And this was recent. And both of them, then they were flipping out and they were like being treated as possessed. Whereas they were under the arrest of a priest. This whatever was possessing him was under arrest by a priest. And they both said the same thing. They both said that it's because they know time is short. And they said, well, what about all the doctors and everything? Are they in on it? And they were talking about the jab. And in this voice that this girl couldn't hardly possibly even be making herself, either one of them. And they were talking about they're in on it. They're part of it. Don't you see the snakes at the hospital? And it's like, what? And it says it's a gate. And they both said that it was a gateway because they want to get as many people before they have a chance to repent. And I thought that rather interesting when, it's 2 separate people say the same thing. And they're unrelated. You know what I'm saying? Other than that they were under the influence of this weird drug that was out for a short period of time.
Yeah. Flocka actually made one guy in Florida eat another man's face like he was like a zombie or something like that.
Yeah.
If they were calling it. You don't want to fuck around with psychotropic drugs too much.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's these man-made compounds, all of them. I don't care what they are. Whether it's, just because somebody in a white laboratory coat has given it to somebody, it doesn't make it good. It's part of the pharmakia, which is the dark art of using potions and poisons to influence and kill people. That's basically what it is. And just it doesn't make it good. And it's like, for instance, we were talking the other night. Oh, I have a chemical imbalance in my brain. So this doctor gave me this man-made shit that I eat that balances this chemical in my brain. It's like, well, wait a minute. That chemical in your brain is produced by something in your body naturally, and it's not being produced. So why isn't it being produced? And what you find out is that it's because of a lack of nutrition. And once a person addresses that, they no longer have, in most cases, this chemical imbalance in the brain. But then when you start taking something that's in lieu of what your own endocrine system is supposed to be producing, your endocrine system that's supposed to be producing it just shuts down altogether and won't work anymore, and you become dependent on that.
Hey, let's let me introduce Billy Lawrence here that's with us. Billy, you want to tell everybody about yourself there?
Hello, Billy. How you doing?
How's everybody doing tonight?
Hey,
Billy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
That's all good. Artie, been a while.
Yeah. I was about ready to jump off the line too.
Yeah, so there's a couple things. First of all, I'm also the Ironton Rickroll guy. That's if you remember from the Chili video where
I remember you.
where he lost his mind. And then
you never got that restraining order on you.
No, I never got a restraining order, and he's made some other threats. I bait him in Messenger here and there to see if he'll fall through with something. Then he just starts calling me names, which is really funny. But
Well, I'm the only person.
Did he yell at you and say he was gonna do like homosexually rape you and shit like that?
no, I didn't. You know what? I haven't had the pleasure of that one yet.
Yeah, it seems like that's a pattern with him too. He did that to me.
Justin, what's up, brother? I seen you there, man.
He falls
Well, you
back
have
on
a
the
real pretty rapist, though.
Yeah, that's the rapist part. He falls back on that. He hasn't blocked me, which is interesting, and I've been peppering him up pretty good for the last 2 days. But anyway, you know, having only the interaction where he was afraid for his life with me and screaming at me. That's really the only interaction. So I really can't do any kind of diagnosis or anything with him. But I can tell you this. According to the DSM-5, which is basically the medical book for counselors and therapists and such, there are 9 criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. You only need 5 to be diagnosed, 5 or more, and he fits all 9.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he fits. I mean, it's amazing. So grandiose sense of self-importance, yes. Preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, yes. Believes that he or she is special, unique, yes. Requires excessive admiration, yes. Sense of entitlement, yes. Is interpersonally exploitive, takes advantage of others to achieve his or her own ends, yes. Lacks empathy, which I think is when you talk about the dead soul eyes,
Yeah.
you know, is often envious of others and believes that others are envious of him.
Oh God.
And shows arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes. And the problem with these guys, with people that are narcissists, is they're not really curable because
Hey, Justin, I'll do that right now, brother.
Because they don't know they're sick. They won't accept that something's wrong. So they're grandiose, you know, their ego will not let them admit that, hey, there could be something wrong with me. So therefore, you know, even with, I would say that some people, probably encouraged by a spouse or other, will go to treatment. And I've read cases where people have actually gotten better, but that is a very small percentage. So it's, you know, so he's walking around with this, which is a mental health disease. And, you know, in regards, there's not a medication for that, for this diagnosis. It's just, now the problem is he also kind of has some, you know, he goes through kind of like a personality disorder thing where his mood goes up and down, which is interesting, but I would attribute that to drug use.
Yeah, I do too. You know, though, I have to say, there is one thing that can cure that. There is one thing that can cure that. I call it ego death.
Yeah.
And it's very beneficial if you can experience, especially with the guidance of a shaman.
Yeah.
I've guided people. It's very beneficial. And I've seen people come back from that ego death and just go, oh my God, what the fuck was I thinking? Jesus. You know, holy cow.
The problem is you got to get them there.
Right.
And that's the big obstacle.
Well, see, that's the other night he was talking about when he said GHB was good for you, right? And then he talks about DMT, and I was like, right off, I fell almost right out of my chair. I was like, there is no way that dude has ever used DMT.
No,
if he has, he maybe had a taste, and he got some visuals, and that was it. No, he did not use DMT.
No, he's listened to too much Joe Rogan. And Rogan has done it.
Yep.
and you can tell by the way Rogan talks about it that it's authentic.
It's definitely it's definitely an enlightening experience. It is. Ayahuasca is the same thing, except and see, here's the interesting thing about it too, is that the shaman in the rainforest who make the ayahuasca from the ayahuasca plant, DMT is not ingestible orally because you need an MEOI in order to be able to do that.
Yeah.
MEOI inhibitor. And out of thousands of vines and plants in the Amazon, there is one specific vine that can be used as an MEOI inhibitor in the ayahuasca to allow oral ingestion. It's called the vine of death. And when the shaman were asked, how did you know out of all these plants that this is the one that you use? And they just said that the spirits had told them. And I'm inclined to believe that. I
Like
really
Young
am.
Guns.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You remember that part in the movie when he's like, "We're in the spirit world, man."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he
Somebody
pukes.
see the size of that chicken?
Yeah. It's much and so you do have those experiences, like for instance, mushrooms are disgusting. They taste horrible, and you really want to have the experience in order to ingest them. I don't suggest them as like a recreational thing. I use them as a tool of teaching. So you have to be careful. There's always kind of some kind of a sacrifice, and that's that nauseous, nasty taste with the peyote. Of course, there's a vomiting with DMT. It's like there's no side effects. It's like you take 3 drags of it, and then it's like a rocket ship, whoosh, and you are there. It is, and then 20 minutes later, you're like, well, time to go back. Whatever, I'm good, and it's over. That's that quick. And you come back, and you're going like, what in the fuck was that? And. And the crazy thing is that every time you go back to the same place, and it's almost like there are entities there, and it's like you're kind of, whoa, what the fuck is this? But they're like going, oh, good to see you back, welcome. And it's like, what do you mean good to see me back? Like it's outside of this dimension or some kind of shit. There's a reason they call it the spirit molecule.
Yeah, well, and Tilly has demonstrated he can't handle good pot.
Dude, he took an entire unbroke up bud on April 20th, an entire unbroke up bud, and just stuck it in a pipe and lit it.
Yep. No, but he also can't handle the high. I mean, he loses control. That's my point. So I don't know. Like Chad, I've had moments where I've been like, oh, Jesus, this guy really needs help. But then
Then he opens his mouth and ruins it, right?
Yeah. He does that. And then it's just, it's hard to feel sorry for someone like that. And then the any kind of relationship is just is a no give from him. It's just all take. So he has no friends because of that.
Well, you don't got no girlfriend because he's creepier than shit, man. Did you?
Oh, God.
Wow. Like when he was talking to that female cop, that was really creepy. But that one night when he was sitting there and he's talking about it, and he says, anybody out there, 30 or below that would be interested and you could cuddle and watch TV and have a puppy and shit. And I'm going, oh my God, what the hell?
Yeah, and the problem with that is he thinks that's normal. He thinks that's okay.
He's looking at a magazine ad and thinking, that's what it is. He's got that. That's what I'm talking about. That prescribed idea.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not yours. It comes from somewhere else. The entire American population is guilty of that when they started pushing the idea of suburbia. And, everybody had to have a lawn and a picket fence and a house and you get a mortgage and all this other shit. And it was like, So everybody came up with the idea that you to be normal, you had to live that way. You had to have the 2.5 kids, the picket fence, the house, the mortgage, the 9 to 5, that shit. See.
By the way, Justin, yeah, he has already stopped in. He was in, what was the name of the county he was in here earlier on?
Oh, Snake, wasn't it?
Snake. Yeah, he was under a snake when he was in here earlier.
What's he in here now as?
He's not. I don't think he's in here now.
Who's hemorrhoids?
All right, Lisa's got it too. Lisa, you get a gold star on your chart for getting the right answer. Don does too. Don, we're giving you a gold star on your chart too.
Smitty, you can't tell the police.
Cops?
Shh. I think my next project, and I'm just going to stick to Ironton on this, but he left a lot of people that he talked to just in his wake, of course. So I think I want to go back and go through to see how many people he said he'd helped that he has not even mentioned again. Because that list is pretty lengthy.
Well, didn't it start in Ironton with Sarah and Tim?
Yeah, but Sarah and Tim are still.
They're not even from and do not live in Ironton is the interesting part. Just
but they claim that Chad and his boys were giving him shit. But
they're like, oh my God, the cops act white.
Yeah, and I'm not going to get into that because I know a little bit about that. And, it's none of my business. But he left a bunch of people in his wake. He interviewed, like, I don't know, 20 people.
Yeah. Down there at the courthouse that day, he was talking to that woman who said that her son had a footprint on his head and all that other shit. Remember?
Yeah. So I'm going to go back and do that. Now, the interesting guy, and this, I'm going to share this, and then I'm going to get back off here. Chad, I got a favor, like a personal favor, not to do with court or anything, that I'm going to talk to you about tomorrow.
Okay.
If I can find you. But I wanted to give you guys real quick. So his buddy Kent Freeman.
Yeah, somebody asked about that earlier. Do you have any? Because I want to clarify too. That's a county case. I don't know anything about that. So.
County case. So there's two cases, and that's his retaliation.
Artie, I see your message here, brother. Good night. Love you, man. I'll talk to you probably tomorrow or something.
See you, Artie. So the retaliation charge, the indictment was filed on, this is retaliation and then theft. And how is the theft described? It is described as theft from a person in a protected class, 3rd-degree felony. So that means elderly.
It's either elderly or somebody with a disability.
Right. So he's got those two things. He's got the charge, both of those, and the retaliation was against the Spoljaric that worked for the sheriff. So it was it involved that video that he posted where the idiot was shooting a gun while the police were on the property, right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Is that the one that's the Freeman guy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Kent Freeman.
Yes.
Right.
Wendell Kent Freeman. That's who I'm talking about. So anyway, so his indictment comes down for the theft from the elderly and the retaliation against the deputy sheriff. He had court yesterday. He was arraigned yesterday.
It was on the 29th that he was arraigned.
What's today? Well, today's officially the 1st, but yeah, so he was arraigned, and Terry, you can fill in on this, but he was ordered to appear within 24 hours to the jail to get fingerprinted and photographed. He's out on an OR. Let's see, own recognizances.
It was a $15,000 OR bond.
Right. So Chili, if you notice, hasn't talked about him again. So it's just, and if you go and look at Freeman's rap sheet, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's extensive, but a lot of civil, a lot of different thing, but he was caught up. Actually, he was caught up in a deal in Huntington, West Virginia, where he got pulled over on the West End with a prostitute and pills, but he owned a pharmacy at the time that had
Unknown, what's up, man?
overprescribed opiates. Now that kind of got slipped through and caught up in all the federal stuff, but he skated away from that. But anyway, Chili just left this poor bastard in his wake, just like everybody else. He, in my opinion, he did not help Sarah and Tim, the initial case, and he hasn't helped anybody.
No.
So
he doesn't know anything. He's going in there. Here's the problem. And a lot of people see this is what they don't understand. And this is how I initially got even in touch with Chili. And it was through Derek Medley.
Yeah.
Because I donated some money to Derek and to Derek's Cash App, not to Chili.
Oh yeah, I watched you all through that.
Yeah. So I wanted to try to help him because here's the thing: you and Bobby Law doesn't understand this either, apparently.
So is Bobby Law real? I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm seriously curious. Is that really a person?
It's not a lawyer, but I think.
Well, I know that. I just didn't know if it's really is there really somebody who really does give him legal advice, or is this just somebody?
Yeah, well, it's somebody who gives him legal advice that has just enough knowledge to be dangerous. Because here's the thing: if they knew this, if they understood this right here, if you go in to a courtroom and you start you've got some kind of a charge against you, okay? Let's just look at that. You're in there. And then you start yipping and yapping about your goddamn Constitution. They're not going to listen because you're not in a court that's under constitutional law. Get off of that. You are under a court that is ruled by the Uniform Commercial Code. I don't know why it's called that. It's stupid because each state has their own. That's why it's called like Ohio Revised Code, ORC, or VRC. All these different things, but they kind of are the same. But they all have their own thing. These are commercial codes. It's almost a transparent overlay that was put over the Constitution in 1938 because of the bankruptcy in 1933. It's a kind of a long, convoluted story, and it was kind of done in collusion. But what you have to do, and what I was trying to tell him, that unless you reserve your natural rights under the Bill of Rights through claiming your rights are reserved, then you're in their game and you're not playing it, and they don't want to hear nothing about it, especially if you try to bring up a Supreme Court case that goes before 1938. They'll turn the record off. They won't even record it. They won't even record that. So this is what I was trying to get him to understand, that you have to first reserve those rights before you even go in there. If you don't, and you step into that court, it is presumed that you are down with being under Uniform Commercial Code, and you aren't aware of that. It's a presumption, and you have to state that you're reserving your rights without prejudice, or you can state UCC 1-308. There's a bunch of things like that.
Right.
But if they don't understand that one fundamental thing, a lot of lawyers don't understand that. People don't know. Lawyers don't know law. Lawyers know procedure. They always have to look the shit up the same as you could do. The only thing you can't really understand is all the procedure, because that's the most complicated aspect of all of it. It's a convoluted way of basically having you accused by the devil, and the devil being represented by the prosecution, and the judge being God, representing God to judge over the entire proceeding. That's what it all boils down to.
Right.
Sorry, did I go off too far?
Hey, just real fast, I want to tell everybody, I just now checked something. I am at 797 subs. If there anybody who hasn't subbed to get me over 800, I'd surely appreciate it. I just want to hit that because I just realized.
Yeah, everybody hit that like.
Hit that like button.
Hit the like button and sub, please.
Snake, hit that like button and sub, man.
You got 794. That's crazy.
797. I'm 3 away.
Okay, I'm looking at it. I got like 3 devices going right now. It's like,
So what is 800 a milestone in this?
No, I just seen it.
it's
Oh,
a
okay.
personal milestone.
Yeah, I just
I got
seen
you.
it. I was like, that's just too close.
Well, I was waiting for they tell you at 500 you get your community page, right?
Yes.
And so I hit my community page. I hit my 500, and I was like, "Yay, get my community page." It's not a big deal, but it was
Right.
like a little milestone. And I didn't get it, and it wasn't there. And
It takes about a week.
It out. Yeah, I was like almost 600 subscribers by the time I got to that now, and I was like, "Oh, finally, there it is." Nice. But come on. You tell somebody you're going to give them something, don't be holding up on them. That ain't right. Right? Motherfuckers holding up on me, man.
No kidding. It took me like a week, and I was like, what is going on?
And we're putting out quality content, man. Look, does anybody else got a fucking Chili De Castro dolls? No, but we do.
I love that.
We do. We have this. This is going to be raffled, man. I'm hopefully be able to bring maybe a couple more. She might, or 1 or 2 more, but she might be able to get done by the time I come down there. I'm leaving the afternoon of the 8th, so that we can do that fundraiser, Ironton auditors doing and shit on the 9th, and all that. So it looked like it'd be a lot of fun.
As soon as we can figure out the details on that, Sovereign, Captain and I are still trying to work that out and figure out exactly when that is to make sure.
Oh
we
yeah,
can
just
hit
real
it.
fast. I'm so glad you guys brought that up because I was thinking about something else. For everybody that's in the chat, July 9th, as we know, that's the first show that ECC is doing for MMA. And on July 8th, I wanted to share this with you guys because I talked to the promoter tonight. On July 8th at the Doghouse Pizza Pub at 312 Main Street in Greenup, Kentucky at 7 p.m. Okay, that's going to be the weigh-ins for the fighters that are actually fighting on the card the next day. I don't know for sure if I'll be there. I hope that I'll be able to do that, to be there. But the weigh-ins will be the 8th. The fights will be the 9th. That is when we were supposed to sign these papers that I don't think Chili's going to show up for, but nevertheless, I'll be there the 9th. And then, we're going to proceed from there. As far as the streamathon goes, we're still working out details. I know Terry's working on it. I've been working on it. Bits and Pieces been working on it. Kick's been working on it. Everybody's been working on it. We're trying to get a window of time filled. I'm hoping that we can get a 24-hour block, but at very least, I'd like to have a 12-hour block, like a noon to midnight thing or something like that, where we keep a continuous live stream going for somebody running one. I don't know if I'll be able to do a live stream that day because I got a lot going on. What I was hoping to do was, as you guys are running your live streams, I could just bounce back and forth. As one comes on, I'll make an appearance and so on and so forth, and we just keep them going all day.
Yeah.
Because that's the main goal, man. The main goal is I want to see St. Jude. I want to see them, really blessed out of this whole situation. And then, we're still working on the July thing too. What I would like to do for the month of July is challenge everybody. The original challenge that I seen was the suicide, the veteran suicide awareness. And they were actually like asking for like 250 miles or something like that to be, you ride your bike the total 250 miles for the month. What I'm going to ask is, because I don't know if you guys know this, but 22 a day. Now think about that. 22 a day of our veterans take their own lives. That's sad.
That's not new. This isn't new. Listen, this is something that happens every time people
one is too many.
Yes,
one is too many. We've got it. And if we can spread a little awareness, I'm not asking for your pocketbook, folks. I'm asking for your time. I'm asking for you to do this. I know 250 miles is a lot, but if you will dedicate right now to 2.2, so for the sake of 2.2 miles a day, whether it be walking, running, cycling, or whatever. And I'm asking this, if you'll do that and you'll hold up a sign, with your bike or whatever out, and you take a picture, hold up your sign or whatever, and you will send it to my email. I'll share it on my community page. I really want to spread the awareness for the month of July. 2.2 miles a day is all I'm asking. 2.2 miles a day. You share me 2.2, show a picture of it, maybe screenshot your app that you got, because you get these apps now on your phone that keeps track of everything.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So it's something real easy that we can do. I'm going to start mine tomorrow. Well, today, technically. Today is July 1st, and I'm going to do it every day in the month of July. And I'm asking everybody to join me, please. And I'm going to do it. And, I got to keep my cardio up anyway because I got to keep dropping weight for this fight. So it's an excuse for me. But please chime in with me on this. Those of you that's in the chat, we got 48. If you're going to do this, if you're going to commit to 2.2 miles a day, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. Let's see if anybody's going to step up. This is for our veterans in the States. This
I
is
can
so.
do that.
I
I think I can do that by walking to the police station and back every day from my house.
Hey, you know what? 2.2 miles a day, whether it be running, walking, biking, I don't care. You get 2.2 miles and you put it in there and you spread this awareness because that's what matters. These people, guys, they're serving our great nation. You know what? It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, guys. It doesn't matter if you're a sovereign citizen or an auditor or a police officer or whatever. It's still the same basic freedoms and stuff that our veterans fight for.
It absolutely is. That means that saying that, Chad, one of the things is, wouldn't you agree that one of the best ways to combat a problem, like we were saying earlier, like not screaming at the police, one of the best is, we have to do something because we have these veterans and they're scarred, they're hurt, they're empty. And we had them from Korea, we had them from Vietnam, we had them from World War II. And, our freedom keeps going to all these places and our boys keep dying to retrieve it or something, we're told. But the reality of it all is the best way to keep this from continuing is to not have these veterans. I mean, this is out of the entire time the United States has been a country, we've spent over 225 years collectively put together at war with
At war. Yeah, I knew that. That's
and I mean, look at our national anthem, even that damn thing's about war. Canada's is about how beautiful Canada is. A lot of countries are like it, not the United States. It's about war. And we create this, and it's really bad. It's used with a false sense of patriotism. We like saying, oh, you need to go over here to Afghanistan and fight for our freedom. And it's like, how the fuck did my freedom get over to Afghanistan? I mean, I have a friend, he was in both theaters over there, Iraq and Afghanistan. And thankfully, he's not really too messed up from it, but he's got scars. He carries scars. He's not the same person he was before he went into there at all. And we need to stop doing this dumb shit. We really do.
Tommy, I see you in the chat there. God bless your uncle, man, and thank him for his service for us, please.
Absolutely, they do get treated.
Chad, I'm going to jump off, but the statistic you gave is probably grossly underreported.
I'm guessing you're right. I think that's a very general thing that people are using.
They don't count the ODs as suicide.
Yeah, they don't count the ODs. They don't count the they don't count the homeless. They don't know.
Right.
Sure. Well, and how many veterans too are treated that aren't treated in a military hospital or veterans type hospital or whatever it may be, and they completely just kind of get separated from even being a veteran, and they pass and nobody even thinks about that. You know what I'm saying?
Those veterans hospitals are a horror show.
Oh,
those need to be addressed.
Yeah.
They are a horror show. I went to one for a broken ankle after I got out of the Army.
Chad, gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.
Hey, appreciate you coming on, man.
No problem.
I couldn't tell the doctors from the patients, man. I couldn't.
Yeah. I've heard that. My grandfather was a veteran, and I remember as a little kid going to the local veterans hospital with him. And I remember even as a little kid, and I didn't know anything. And I remember thinking, man, this place seems dirty. You know what I mean? And I was just a baby. That's a shame, man. We should put those guys on a pedestal. I mean, really, it's amazing that we have the greatest nation on earth. Once again, despite what side of the aisle you're on, in my opinion, and once again, I'll say it's to all my friends from other nations and stuff, and I appreciate the support and all that stuff. But in my opinion, the way I was raised, I'm blessed to be an American citizen, and I think we live in the greatest nation that is on earth. And our freedoms are based on the fact that we have brave men and women that say, you know what? Now, granted, I would love to get them all home and us not have a presence in any war. But however, the reason that we have the freedoms that we do is because the might that we have. We're certainly a very, very powerful nation.
I have to agree, Chad. I have to agree, Chad, that I do. If you're going to have government, which again, it's two Latin words that literally mean mind control. But if you're going to have government, I think that what this nation was founded on and those principles, but they had to actually petition to put the Bill of Rights. And the Bill of Rights is what makes it special, because it's a list of God-given natural rights that are not to be screwed with. It doesn't grant them to you. And they petitioned to have that included because it wasn't originally in. They petitioned to have that included because they said, look, if you do not specify this, it will be destroyed. That being said, those foundations have been destroyed for many, many millennia. And for us to cling to them as though they are still a current thing is kind of like Al Bundy and his glorifying of his high school touchdown. That shit's over. It's gone. We are really in a hardcore totalitarian and people misuse this word police state. Police state doesn't mean that because there's a lot of police, even though there is a lot of police. What it means is that every action is being slowly governed.
Sure.
Even the most innocuous of actions, and they're being governed, and usually at the expense of the poor, to keep them in debt. That's basically what it is. It's a revenue generation thing that goes on with it, and you can't really deny it. You don't delete laws. You can't delete laws because man cannot create laws. Laws already been established. Man can only create legislation and dictations. That's all.
Right. I've argued a few times, based on my spiritual beliefs before, and I try not to get in this debate much, but the original 10 Commandments are blatantly what statutory law is written off of. I mean, it's blatantly that way. And I've said this, and I'll share this with you guys here. I'm a firm believer. I'm trying to think how to word this without sounding. Let me just say this. I am a firm believer in the way that I do my job. I maintain and preserve public peace by upholding the Constitution of the United States of America. That being said, my job is to guarantee freedoms. My job is to guarantee that see, that's what a lot of people miss a lot of times is law. Yes, law obviously will incriminate people. But the real basis of law, what it's really for, is to protect the rights of everybody, to guarantee that everybody's got the same freedoms. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2", 260 pounds, whatever it may be right now. I'm a big, strong guy. I could probably get away with a lot of stuff if I just wanted to go out and, in an anarchist state. I could probably go and, only the strong survive type thing, right? But eventually it's going to lead us back to a dictatorship. It's going to lead us back to an emperor, right? So the beauty of our constitutional republic says this: we're going to guarantee freedoms for everybody on this broad spectrum of life. That says that everybody from the 90-year-old grandmother to the young man who's strong, all is supposed to have the same rights and freedoms. And the way that that's done is that's done through law. Law guarantees that if Terry's walking down the street, and I keep using Terry every time I say this, if Terry's walking down the street and
because he's little and you're picking on him, Chad. That's
I'm just picking. Honestly, I'm picking on you. I swear to you, I'm picking on you because I literally seen his emblem in the middle of the screen. But if Terry's walking down the street and somebody reaches,
it's not always in the middle of the screen now, Captain.
Well, I know, but it is for now, Terry. Okay, it's my excuse. But if Terry's walking down the street and somebody punches him in the nose, he's no longer sharing the beauty of these freedoms. And now there has to be
Right.
something done to guarantee his freedoms, to guarantee him having the right to feel safe within his own persons. That's where law comes into place. And
Right.
if you're going to have law, believe it or not, wearing a pair of sunglasses around that shows everybody transparency is not going to guarantee those laws are enforced. It takes somebody that's going to say, okay, now you broke the law. Now you have to take it in for justice.
Well, I kind of look at it this way too. I like your approach to it because there's a lot of sincerity in that. What I get at with that is the fact that a lot of people say, well, first off, the misnomer idea that anarchy means no rules. It does not mean no rules. It means no rulers. That's what it means.
Right.
And then the next question people says, who is the one that makes people behave? Well, who makes me behave? I make me behave.
Absolutely.
Was
it Thomas Jefferson that said that our Constitution was written for a virtuous peoples? And I'm terrible with making those quotes, but I believe it was.
Yes, you're correct. And so it's like that type of a society, that type of a living requires that type of thinking. It's based a lot off of the golden rule, as well as the non-aggression principle, which doesn't mean not violent. What it means is not aggressive. I like to often equate that with the porcupine principle. Okay. The porcupine just goes through the forest doing porcupine shit, doesn't bother nobody, doesn't harm anything. But if you mess with it, you're going to have a bad day.
Sure.
Okay. That was originally the idea of the don't tread on me, because the rattlesnake is a very gentlemanly of all the serpents, because it will warn you. It gives you ample notice before it bites you.
Sure.
And that's the non-aggression principle. Today people say don't start no shit, won't be no shit. That's the way to be it. And you don't do things to other people because, well, you wouldn't want that being done to you. So why would you? You see,
Right.
that if you can't, I use the shopping cart analogy, which is really good. If you're a person that when you're done with getting your groceries out of the cart and you put it in your car and everything, if you take the grocery cart back or put it in the corral because it's just the right thing to do, you're generally a person that is capable of governing yourself. A person that doesn't give a shit and just leaves it out there and fuck all that, it's somebody else's job and I don't care. They can't. They're not. They only feel that something is not right if they get caught. They only think that something is wrong if they get caught. If they didn't get caught, there's no proof. Then there's, it's not wrong.
Which is the removal of virtue.
Yes, and that's been systematically done in our society.
Absolutely. As we've seen testosterone levels drop in men, and I know this is going a little bit, but it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same slipper. You know what I mean? We're seeing the day of shaking hands and saying, I owe you $5. I'll get you next week. Has died.
Yes.
And it's sad. It really is sad. Because but the reality is, and that's why, guys, that's why that I've been so adamant about pushing this kind of gap, this divide, and bring everybody together, is because of this. The truth of the matter is, I don't hate anybody.
Right. Hate only hurts yourself.
Exactly. I don't hate anybody. And just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean that I hate you.
Right.
However, let me say this. If I can talk to you rationally and be nice to you, and you can be nice to me, we don't have to agree on much of anything else. But why can't we shake hands and treat each other with respect at least?
Have you ever heard the greeting Namaste?
I have not.
Okay, it's I believe it's Eastern. Namaste basically translated means I bow and honor your soul, your presence. And it's respect. It's just mutual respect. That's what it is. And that's how people need to learn. You can't, so many people are under what I call a perception deception. And what that is that they make generalizations based on a perception they have of someone. In other words, they'll believe something if someone in their perception is an authority figure over someone who's not realizing that it's just another person. You understand?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And by the way, real fast, you're absolutely right. We lost a real legend, a true American hero.
Who'd we lose?
We lost Woody. And that's something that, you know what's honestly,
Who's Woody? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Who's Woody?
Hang on just one second. Hang on just a second.
Can somebody tell me who Woody is in the chat? I'm not sure. Seize the day. That's right. Oh, okay. Herschel Woody Williams.
I'm sorry, guys. My cat was literally right in my face, and he was meowing so hard I couldn't hear. He wants my attention. He demands it when it's time. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but he literally was demanding that I talk to him right now. So
I got 5 dogs around here that demand my constant attention.
oh my. But yes, you know, I was talking about Woody from
Woody,
yeah. Woody Williams. He was he's a West Virginia native, and man, he was a real hero, you know, and it's a shame that we, you know, the good ones seem to find a way to go and somehow run off, you know.
Last living World War II vet. You know, that's really crazy. You know, when I was a kid, I used to go to nursing homes, and I would, you know, visit the old people because they were lonely, a lot of them, and I made friends with this guy that was a World War I veteran, man.
Wow.
And he had been he got just like a whiff of mustard gas in the trenches, and he had this voice. It was like that from that mustard gas, and he told me some stories. He said this one time, he said that it was just mud and they just fought for yards. That's all they would get. They would fight bloody battles for just mere yards, you know. And they kept going out to this shell crater to get water for they could shave and drink, make coffee and shit like that. And then springtime came and the water started to dry up in that shell crater, and there was a dead Frenchman in the bottom of that thing the whole time, man.
Wow.
It was like, oh man. You know, so is it any wonder these people come back, these guys come back, and women now, from an experience like that, and it's, you know, kind of whacked in the head from it? I mean, you're placed into hell. You are literally placed into the middle of hell and expected to survive.
Absolutely. It's sad. And I guess that's why I'm so adamant about this thing for July, you know, because, you know, they go through enough when they're active, you know, but when they come back here, the relief and the stress shouldn't be there anymore. And it's up to us to take care of them, you know what I mean? And that's the way that I look at it. So,
well, unlike World War I and unlike World War II, there was no, hey, welcome home, great job, let's have a big parade down, you know, Main Street in New York City and shit like they used to, right? The iconic Life magazine photos of the sailor kissing the nurse and, you know, all that shit. Nobody got any of that. They just came in one by one or in small groups off of commercial airliners and went home. And that's all there was to it.
Archangel, yeah, I'm in Discord. You can get me, anybody needs to send me an email. It's legicator at Yahoo. If anybody has any interest in sending me an email on anything. But that's usually kind of where I get it. So, guys, listen, my battery's getting ready to go. We're going to call this stream tonight. If anybody else has got anything to say, I appreciate everybody being on. This was kind of a test thing for me, guys. Just because I'd never done this before. So I've just kind of learned what I'm going through, but I want to thank everybody for coming up. Thank everybody for the chat and all that stuff like that. We're going to do this again.
I'm looking forward to the opportunity of meeting you here in the next.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, man.
And everybody have a good night. And let's try to start tomorrow with that 2.2 if we're up for it, and document. Let's get this stuff going. Okay. Remember, we're all in this together. We can bridge this divide. It's not a big deal. We stay positive. We stay happy, and we love on each other. Do something nice for each other. Pat each other on the back, shake a hand, hold a door. I don't care what you do. But remember, if you train like you fight, you'll fight like you train. Good night.
Hey, I that's going to work out good because we have a carnival just down the street. I think it's about 2.2 miles. I can go down there. get me a nice big funnel cake, and then
That'll work. We don't care. That'll work. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, everybody.